Hi guys, welcome back to LaDenser Crochets. In this tutorial, we'll be making this Pinterest inspired off-shoulder dress that you can either wear freely or throw in a belt. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get to it. These are the basic requirements for this tutorial. Yarn. This yarn that I'm using is Seagull and it's quite thin, and therefore I'll be doubling my strands. That's why I have two balls. I'll be working with the two balls, one strand from one ball, another strand from the other ball. 3mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, and a measuring tape. These are the measurements that you're going to need for your project. You're going to need your bust, and the measurements are in inches. So I'll be working a bust of 34. You'll need the top length. Mine is 10. You'll need the hips measurement, and I'll be working in 44 that is. Then you're going to need the full length of the dress, and mine is going to be 30. I've already worked the top part of the dress, and I'll be illustrating this using a smaller version. We can check the measurements right here. As you can see, when I measure these, it's at 17, and 17 multiplied by 2 is 34. Notice that I'm measuring without stretching. The reason why we won't be stretching for this project is because this is not a bodycon dress. It's a dress that is supposed to be free, and therefore we'll work without stretching. Keep that in mind. So this is what I have for the top part. My bust is 34. The top length is this length from your armpits up to the waist, or slightly above your waist. So mine is supposed to be 10. At this point I'm at 9, so I'll do a few more rows, and then I'll do like 2 rows to get me to 10. Now let me show you how to begin. Using my 2 strands, like I've mentioned, I'm doubling the strands because I want to achieve a medium weight effect, and this yarn is quite thin. If you have any other medium weight yarn, you can substitute it with that. So we begin with a slip knot as usual, and then we're going to chain. Start by chaining 5. Then you're going to pull out your hook and put it through the first stitch. We are working a chain that we're going to connect at the end, and therefore to ensure that our chain is not twisted, this is what we do, and then we continue chaining. Now you're going to chain a chain that is a multiple of 12. That is, the number of chains that you're going to have should be divisible by 12. Because I've mentioned that I'm working a smaller version, I'll be doing a total of 60. A total of 60 chains. I'm at 5, so I'll continue and work the remaining 55 to get me to 60. I have the 60 chains ready. Of course, you can see this is quite small, and even for a baby, but make sure that you make a chain that will fit your bust measurement without stretching. For this one, to get to 34, I did a total of 120. So it's like I'm doing half of this. This was 120. I'm doing this, illustrating with the 60 stitches. Next, you're going to pull your hook through the first stitch, that is, in order to complete the round. And this is what we have. We're going to begin row 1, and row 1 begins with a chain 3. The chain 3 will act as the first double crochet into the first stitch, and therefore we're going to yarn over, put our hook through the next chain, yarn over and grab a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2, and that's our second double crochet. We're going to work a double crochet into the next chain, a double crochet into the chain that follows, and into the one that follows, and we're going to work 1 double crochet into every chain till we go all the way around our chain and come back to the end. Because I've chained 60, by the end of this row I should have a total of 60 double crochets. So make sure that the number of chains that you've started with is the same number of double crochets that you're going to have at the end of row 1. My last stitch goes into the last chain, it's a bit tight. And that is my 60th double crochet. We are done with row 1. So what we do, we count the 3 chains that we began with. So we are counting 1, 2, and 3 into the 3rd chain. Put your hook through, grab a loop, pull through, and pull all the way through. And that's a slip stitch to complete row 1. To begin row 2, you're going to chain 3 and turn. Now we're going to work a double crochet into every stitch. So that means at the end of row 2, we should have 60 double crochets again. So this is our first double crochet into the first stitch. We move straight into the second stitch right here and place a double crochet. Then into the next stitch, place a double crochet and place 1 double crochet into every stitch till you get to the end of the row. This is the last double crochet, so we place our last double crochet there to complete row 2, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. We count 3 stitches onto the chain, 3 chains, that is 1, 2, and 3 into the 3rd chain of that first chain 3. Put your hook through, grab a loop, and do a slip stitch. That's row 2 done. Then chain 3 and turn your work to begin row 3. And we work row 3 the same way we've done with row 2. So do 1 double crochet into every stitch. Row 3 is done, and we're going to work row 4 differently. So what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3 and turn to begin the 4th row. That's our first double crochet. So we're going to work 3 more double crochet into the next 3 stitches for a total of 4. So we have 1, that is 2, 3, and 4. That's our 4 double crochets. Next, you're going to yarn over. Then you'll skip 1 and 2. Then into the 3rd chain, into the 3rd stitch, do a double crochet. Into that same stitch, do another double crochet. And then chain 2. Then you're going to do 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. So we have 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets. That's a shell stitch or 2 double crochet V stitch. Next, you're going to yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and place your hook into the 3rd stitch and do a double crochet. Do a double crochet into the same stitch, chain 2, go back into that same stitch again and do 2 more double crochets. So we have two shell stitches, yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, into the 3rd one, do a double crochet, then do 3 more double crochets for a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the pattern. So we are repeating now. We're yarning over, skip 2, 1, 2, into the 3rd one, do a double crochet, do a double crochet into the same stitch, chain 2, go back into the same stitch with 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2, yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, into the 3rd one, do another shell stitch, 1, 2, chain 2, 1 and 2. Again, yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, then do 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Repeat the shell stitches. So we're repeating this pattern to the end. After 2 shell stitches, we're going to skip 2 and do 4 double crochets. So we repeat that pattern to the end right here. At the end, you should have 2 stitches remaining, 1 and 2, and you're going to skip them. Then we slip stitch onto the chain, onto the 3rd chain right there, and that is how we complete row 4. Chain 3, that's our first double crochet, and turn. We've turned to begin row 5. Now for row 5, we're going to work in the chain 2 stitches, so we're going to skip and work into the chain 2 stitch. Work a shell like we've been working. Then next we're going to skip and work into this chain 2 gap. Then we move to the double crochet stitches and place a double crochet on top of each of the double crochets from the previous row. So this double crochet right here, place a double crochet, then do 3 more. Then we skip over to the chain 2 and do a shell stitch right there, or a V stitch, whatever you want to call it. Chain 2, into the chain 2 again, another shell stitch, next we work over the double crochets, so 4 of them. Then we repeat the shell. The chain 2 will get a shell stitch, the next one, then double crochets get each a double crochet. So right here 4 double crochets, now repeat the pattern to the end. When you come to the end, you will have 3 double crochets remaining, and you'll work in the 3, and then the chain that we started with will be our 4th double crochet for this part.
Those are my last 3 double crochet. To complete, we're going to do a slip stitch onto the 3rd chain, and we are done with row 5, chain 3, and turn to begin row 6. So for row 6, we started with a double crochet, then we have the 3 double crochets. We place a double crochet into each of them. Then onto the shell, do what we've done from the previous rows, and work till you get to this last V-stitch. Once you work here, you're going to complete the row by slip stitching onto this chain. And we're going to be repeating row 5 and row 6, alternating them until we have, for me, the top length that I'm working is 10, so I'll keep repeating till I get to my 10 inches. Then I'll meet you once I'm ready to move on to the skirt part of the dress. At this point, I'm in row 20 and I've gotten to the top measurements that I wanted, which is 10 inches. Right there. And so we're going to start increasing in order to get to our hip measurements. At this point, I'm at a length of 18.5. When multiplied by 2, that will be 37. And I want to get to 44. So I'll work till I get to 22 when I'm measuring my work when it's folded into 2. So from 18.5 to 22, I'll start increasing in row 21 in order to hit the hip measurement. So what we do is begin by chaining 3 and turn your work. We'll begin with an increase in that stitch where we have the chain 3. So we're going to yarn over and go into that stitch and place another double crochet for a total of 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So we've increased right here, and we're going to increase when you're coming to the end in this double crochet, the 4th double crochet right here. So into the shell stitch, there is no increase. We're just going to work it the same way we've been working in all the rows. We only increase at the double crochet point, but then we'll not be increasing in each of those double crochet points. I'll show you what you're going to do after this shell. So because we are doing an increase at this point, the next 4 double crochets, we won't work an increase. We'll just work the 4 double crochets as usual. Then work the shell stitches normally. Now in the next 4 double crochets, we're going to increase, and we begin with the first one. Place 2 double crochets into the first double crochet for that first increase. Then the ones that are in the middle will just get 1 double crochet, and the 4th double crochet will get 2 double crochets, and that's a total of 6. So we're going to have 6, 4, 6, 4, and 6. We're going to alternate, increasing at one point, the next point no increase at all. So I'll just work the shell stitches. Once you get to the double crochets, because we've increased in the previous ones, we are not increasing at this point, so we're just going to work 1 double crochet into each of the 4 double crochets from the previous row. Then next we work the shell stitches. we've had 4 double crochets here, so the next ones will be 6. That means we're increasing in the first double crochet, place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. The middle ones get just 1 double crochet, and the front one gets 2 double crochets. Then repeat to the end. Remember, the shell stitches remain the same. You increase in one, the next one you don't, so you will have 6 shell, 4 shell, 6 shell, and keep going till you get to the end. I'll meet you towards the end of the row, which is our row 21, to show you what to do at the end. So I'm coming to the end of this row, and as you can see, I've done 4 here. If you've ended with 6 stitches, there's no harm, you can still increase into the next one. So what we do is, we had already worked the first increase, so we're just going to increase into this first double crochet, 1 and 2, then place 1 double crochet into each of the remaining 2 double crochets. And right there we have a total of 6. When we add the other 2, then slip stitch into the third chain of that chain 3 stitch, slip stitch. So we have 1, 2 and 3, 6 double crochets. I mentioned that if you have 6, you can still have 6 right here, there's no harm. So chain 3 and turn to begin the next row. For the next row, we are going to increase in all those parts that we did not increase. The ones that we increased will remain as they are. So right here we've just increased, so each double crochet will just get 1 double crochet. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th one will be on this other side. Into the shell, just place 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets, and do the same for the next one. Right here we have 4 double crochets, and therefore we're going to increase into the first one, the first double crochet, place 2 double crochets, place 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Then the last one will get 2 double crochets for a total of 6 at that part. So we have 6 double crochets. The next one has 6, and we're just going to place 1 double crochet into each one of them. We're not increasing in the next one. So do the shell, chain 2, into each of the double crochets, starting right here, place 1 double crochet for a total of 6. So now each of the double crochet points has 6 double crochets. Now next we'll do the shell, then we'll get to the 4 double crochets. We'll place 2 into the first double crochet and 2 into the last to make them 6. Here we have 6, so we'll just place 1 double crochet into each. At this point we'll increase, no increase here, and repeat to the end. I'll meet you at the end of this row. At the end we have the last double crochet into this stitch. Because we had already worked 5, that is our 6th, and we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3. And at this point, each of these parts have 6 double crochets. We chain 3, 2 and 3 and turn. That's our first double crochet, and then we have this second double crochet. We're going to place a double crochet into it. The others are on the other side, and we're going to increase at this point. Do 2 double crochets into that stitch. So we have 3. This will be the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and into this 7th one we'll work 2 to make them 8. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Then the shells remain the same. So now because we've increased here, we're not going to increase in this one. So right here we're going to have 6 double crochets, 1 into every stitch. Then we'll work the V stitches up to this point, and after that we increase. So we're going to increase, place 2 double crochets here, the middle stitches will get 1, then place 2 in this last one. So now we have 2 double crochets into this first double crochet, then 1 double crochet into the next, 1 into the next, 1 into the next one, then into the next, then 2 into the last one to make them 8. So now we're going to have 8, 6, 8, next one will be 6, and we're going to repeat to the end. As we come to the end, when we get to this point, we're going to have 2 double crochets right here and 3 more double crochets, then we're going to complete. Let's see how far we are. With the hips, you're going to work as you measure so that you do not have something that is too wide. So we are at this point, and when you measure that without stretching, of course, we said we are measuring without stretching because we do not want something that is tight. And when I measure this, at 19 by 2 is 38, so I'll continue increasing till I get to 22, which is 22 multiplied by 2 to get me to 44. Now remember, as we increase, we're going to have stitches, points where we have 8 double crochets, other points will have 6. So in the next row, wherever there was 6, we're going to increase as the parts that have 8 remain the same. Then the next one we're going to have 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8. Then the following one will be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So keep going, and I'll meet you once I've hit my hip measurement. I've worked up to row 26, and each of the double crochet sections has 10 double crochets. And at this point I've hit my hip measurements, which is 44. If you measure this without stretching, it gets to 22. 22 multiplied by 2 is 44. And from this point till we get the full length of the dress, we're not going to increase anymore. At a full length of 13, and I want to go up to 30. So we begin the next row by chaining 3. And turn. So each of the double crochets is just going to get 1 double crochet since we're not increasing anymore. Just 1 double crochet onto the previous double crochets. The V stitch will get a V stitch. And then we'll continue working the pattern and repeating it till you get the full length. So I'll go on, do my full dress, then I'll come back and show you how many rows I'll have worked to hit the full length.
So this is after a total of 58 rows, and that gets me to my full length of 30 inches. As you can see, we're measuring the length without stretching, so right here, and then you measure all the way down to the bottom of the dress. So after hitting my full length, I've done a chain of 1, and cut off the yarn at the end, and the main part of the dress is done. So this is what we have for the top part, and then we have the bottom part. Now we're going to work the sleeve, and this is one of the sleeves that I've already worked. To work the sleeves, you're going to start with a chain of 60 like we did when I was illustrating with the smaller version. You're going to do 60 chains at the beginning, and then you'll do 1, 2, and 3 rows of single crochets, and 3 rows of double crochets. Then we're going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows with the shell stitches and the 4 double crochets. Then I'll be showing you how to complete the final part, which is this edging part of the sleeve. At this point, I've already worked my other sleeve and I'm in the 7th row. So we're finally going to do the edging, and we're going to chain 1, then turn, and we're going to begin in the first stitch with a single crochet. That very first stitch, place a single crochet. Then we skip over to this stitch where there was a chain 2 and do a single crochet. Then we're going to do a single crochet in between the 2 shells right here. Do a single crochet, then do another single crochet into the next chain 2 stitch. Then we skip over to the double crochets, and we're going to place 1 single crochet into each of the double crochets for a total of 4 single crochets. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Then we skip over to the chain 2 stitch and place a single crochet. The next stitch will be in between the shells right here, a single crochet. The next one will be in the chain 2 stitch. Then all the 4 double crochets will get a single crochet. So we're going to have 1 single crochet, 2, 3, and 4. Then next we skip over to the chain 2 stitch and place a single crochet. In between the shells, place a single crochet, chain 2 stitch, gets a single crochet. Each of the double crochets gets 1 single crochet for a total of 4. So 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to skip over to the chain 2 stitch and place a single crochet in between the shells, and repeat to the end. Repeat till you get back to where you started doing your single crochets. So I'm at the point where I started doing my single crochets. So into that first single crochet, I'll put my hook through, yarn over, and do a slip stitch to complete that first row of single crochets. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn, and each of the stitches is going to get just 1 single crochet. So into the first one, place a single crochet, place a single crochet into the next stitch, a single crochet into the next, and into the next stitch, and all the stitches till you get back to the beginning part. Just place 1 single crochet into every stitch. Don't be too tight with the stitches, because if you are, the sleeve might be too tight on your arm. So just do the single crochets loosely, not too tight. Once you get to the end, to complete row 2, you're going to put your hook through the first stitch, yarn over, and do a slip stitch, then chain 1 and turn. And row 3 is the same as row 2. You're just placing 1 single crochet into every stitch, beginning with the first one right here. Place a single crochet, and then place a single crochet into all the stitches. And we're going to do this for a total of 6 rows. So I'm in row 3. I'll do row 3, row 4, row 5, and then row 6. Then I'll meet you when I'm coming back. I'm coming to the end of row 6, so that I can show you how to complete that. So just go on, do rows of single crochets for a total of 6 rows. At the end of row 4, we slip stitch into the first single crochet, do a slip stitch, chain 1, and cut off the yarn. And at that point we are done with the sleeve. So just pull your yarn through and fasten. So that's the second sleeve, and this is the first one. And so we're going to go ahead and attach the sleeves onto the dress. So this is what we do. Get the top part of the dress, and then you're going to have one sleeve on one side like this, and the other sleeve on the other side. I'm going to use stitch markers to place them in place. So I'll just get this part, put the stitch marker through, get one end of the dress. So you're holding your dress like this, the shoulder part or the top part of the dress, one stitch on the corner, because you have two corners, this corner and this other corner. So on one corner you're going to attach one of the sleeves, get another stitch marker and attach the other sleeve onto the other corner from this point where we began. So on this other corner or on this other end, attach like that. So this is what we're going to have. And now we're going to stitch it together. We're going to stitch the sleeves to attach them to the dress. Next, we're going to get one side, and this is how you're going to hold your work from the inside part, and you're going to count 10 stitches from the stitch marker. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then again, you'll count 10 stitches from the stitch marker on the sleeve part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right there. You're going to put your hook through like that. We are attaching the main dress and the sleeve. So you want to ensure that your 10 stitches away from the stitch marker, both on the dress part and the sleeve part. Then you're going to get your yarn and reconnect it at that point. So just like this, grab your yarn, then using the longer part or the longer strand, you're going to chain 1, then go back into that stitch with a single crochet. Then you're going to put your hook through the next stitch, this next stitch, and the other next stitch on the sleeve part, and connect them together with a single crochet like this. That's the second. You're going to connect the third and the third on the other side, then the fourth and the fourth. So you're just connecting the corresponding stitches with single crochets. So we are in the fourth one. Then you're going to join like this till you get to the stitch marker with just one single crochet, connecting each of the corresponding stitches. And as I do that, I'm working over this shorter end just to weave it in. Once you get to the stitch marker, we pull it out because we don't need it anymore. Then into those two stitches that you had connected with the stitch marker, you'll put the hook through and through to the other side and connect with a single crochet. Then we're going to count 10 stitches from this point. So again, we connect 10 stitches on this other end. So we have 1, 1. Once you get to the 10th stitch, you'll connect and then chain 1 and then cut off the yarn at that point. And then you're going to weave that end in. So this part of the sleeve is attached, and this is what we have. So we have one sleeve attached, and we're going to attach the other sleeve same way we've done. So go to this other end, get 10 stitches away from the stitch marker, and then connect. I'll do the connection here, then I'll meet you once my 2 sleeves are in place. I have the sleeves attached on both sides, and next we're going to do a strap that is meant to draw this part together, just to ensure that the dress fits well on the bust area. Now, while working that strap, I'll be doubling my strands, and so that means because I've been working with 2 strands of my thin yarn, I'll be doubling this to make it 4. If you're working with a medium weight yarn, you can double it to get 2. So mine are 4 because the yarn is quite thin. Then I'll begin with a slip knot and make a chain that is long enough to fit all around your shoulders, and make a knot at the front part of the dress. I've done a total of 250 chains, and at the end I'll just chain 1 and cut off the yarn. Actually, I just cut off yarn because I was doing chains, and then I'll pull through and fasten. So my chain is ready. We need to attach it to the top part of the dress, and before then we need to weave in these ends, or you can attach and then weave in later. It's all up to you. So I'll just get my darning needle and weave in those ends. So once you're satisfied that it's well hidden, you just cut it off. And I can cut this. I already weaved it in. Then weave in on the other side. So you just want to ensure that your darning needle goes in between the stitches, that is, it's not showing on either of the sides, it's inside the stitches. Then you're just going to pull through the end, and if you're okay that it's well hidden, just get the pair of scissors and cut it off. And since we've weaved in those ends, we're going to weave in these other ends the same way and then attach. So to attach the strap, I'll just get it and put it through the darning needle. It's easier to attach with a needle. Just put it through like that. Then you're going to determine the front part, the middle part of the front part. So we have, we're going to count from here. I'll just count 1, 2. So this is the middle part. I'll just put it through. Then I'll just start putting like this. So 3 double crochets on the inside, 1 on the outside, 3 like that, like this. So I'll just go all the way around that part of the dress and through the sleeves too. So once you get to the sleeve part, just continue. Then just work like this till you get back to where you've started attaching the strap. And right there, that's the last part where we have the strap going through, and then you can just adjust accordingly the way you want it for it to fit onto the top of your bust. Then at this point, you're just going to make a chain. Tighten it, and then cut. Make another. It's actually a knot. You're making a knot on both ends of the chain. Make sure that the knot is very close to the stitches. Tighten it, and then cut off the yarn. So you'll use that strap to adjust this part. And at this point, we are done with the dress. If you've enjoyed the tutorial, kindly leave a like, a comment. Please do not forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the notification bell. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.